The 1982 1-cent coin. Why this penny could be worth $27 million. Hey, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that's hiding in plain sight in your pocket. It's the humble 1982 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny. But this isn't just any regular penny. This specific year could be worth big money, up to $27 million. Yes, you heard that right. $27 million. Stick around as we dive into the fascinating story of the 1982 penny, its history, and why it might just be sitting in your change jar waiting to make you a millionaire. First, let's take a step back and talk about what makes the 1982 penny so special. In 1982, the United States Mint made a significant change to the composition of the penny. Before that, the penny was primarily made of copper, but in 1982, the mint switched to a zinc core with a copper coating, making the pennies lighter and cheaper to produce. However, during this year, a mix of both copper and zinc pennies were minted, which sets the stage for a pretty exciting discovery. Now, you may be wondering, what's the big deal about these pennies, and why could they be worth so much? Well, here's where things get interesting. Some of the 1982 pennies were accidentally struck with the copper composition before the mint fully switched to zinc, and these pennies are extremely rare. These rare 1982 copper pennies can be worth anywhere from several $100s to over $27 million, depending on their condition and the exact minting process. The key here is the error. These copper pennies, which were meant to be zinc, were released into circulation, and only a few made it out before the mistake was caught. Finding one of these pennies is like stumbling upon hidden treasure. But how can you tell if your 1982 penny is worth a fortune? Well, let's break it down. The first thing to do is check the weight. 1982 copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while the zinc pennies weigh 2.5 grams. Grab a scale and weigh your penny. If it's 3.11 grams, you might have a valuable one on your hands. Next, look for the D or P mint mark. Some of these rare copper pennies were struck in Philadelphia and Denver. Pay attention to the mint mark. Pennies minted in Denver or Philadelphia are the ones you're most likely looking for. The value of any coin depends largely on its condition. If your 1982 penny is in mint or near mint condition, you could be looking at a serious windfall. Coins that are well preserved, with little wear and tear, are the most valuable. The better the condition, the higher the price a collector may be willing to pay. And the better it looks, the higher the chances it could be worth a fortune. Now, let's talk about the value. If you find one of these rare copper pennies in good condition, you could easily get a few $100s at a coin shop. But the real jackpot comes when you find one of these pennies in pristine, uncirculated condition. At auctions, these pennies have sold for mind-boggling amounts. Some of them have been sold for upwards of $27 million. That's right, one little penny, which you may have tossed aside for years, could be worth more than a house. Crazy, right? So, how did this all come to be? Well, it all starts with the US Mint's decision to reduce the cost of making pennies. The original copper pennies were becoming too expensive to produce because of the rising cost of copper, so they made the switch to zinc. The mix-up happened during the transition, and a few copper pennies slipped through the cracks. When the mint realized the mistake, they quickly corrected the process, but not before a handful of these copper pennies found their way into circulation. Those are the coins you're looking for today, the ones that could fetch a fortune. As you can imagine, finding one of these rare copper pennies is like striking gold. People have spent years scouring their change for that elusive coin. Some collectors have spent entire lifetimes building their collections and meticulously going through rolls of pennies, hoping to spot a 1982 copper penny in the wild. It's a needle in a haystack situation, but if you have the patience and dedication, it's possible to find one and potentially change your life. If you're curious about whether you have one of these rare pennies in your possession, don't rush to get rid of it. It's important to know exactly what you have before selling it or getting it appraised. Many of these pennies are in fact zinc pennies from the 1982 year, which means they are worth only their face value of 1 cent. But the copper ones, well, they're a different story. If you want to increase your chances of finding one of these rare pennies, here's a tip: keep an eye on coin auctions, estate sales, or rare coin shops. Sometimes, collectors who don't know the value of these pennies will sell them at lower prices. And, of course, you can always check your own loose change. But even then, don't get your hopes up too quickly. These pennies are elusive, and you may need to dig through a lot of rolls and jars of pennies before finding one of these golden opportunities. So, what can you do if you find one of these rare 1982 pennies? Well, the first step is to get it authenticated. You can take it to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify that it's a true copper penny. Once authenticated, you can either keep it as part of your collection or, if you're ready to cash in, sell it at auction or to a private collector. There are collectors out there willing to pay top dollar for a penny they've been searching for, and you might just have the one they've been looking for all along. Coin collectors around the world are constantly on the lookout for rare and unique coins, and the 1982 copper penny is one of the most sought-after items on their list. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual finder, knowing the value of this coin could change your life forever. Imagine finding this penny in your spare change or at a garage sale and realizing it's worth a small fortune. It's like hitting the jackpot in the world of coin collecting. So, there you have it, the 1982 1-cent coin. A simple penny with a story that could be worth millions. Who would have thought something so small could hold such value, right? If you have any 1982 pennies lying around, it might just be time to take a closer look. Who knows, you could be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating coin stories and tips on how to turn your pocket change into big bucks. And if you've found a rare 1982 copper penny, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Next, 2015 1-cent USA coins today, where we dive deep into the world of rare coins and their fascinating stories. Now, you might be thinking, a penny, really? How could a 1-cent coin possibly be worth more than its face value? Well, let me tell you, the 2015 D penny is no ordinary coin. In fact, it could be worth a lot more than you think. Stick around, and you're going to learn why this humble 1-cent coin could be worth big money. Now, first things first, let's talk about what we're looking at. This is the 2015 D penny, minted in Denver, and it's one of the coins in the famous Lincoln cent series. But here's the thing, the 2015 D penny is not just another standard coin you find in your pocket change. It's got a special place in history, and in the world of coin collecting, it holds some serious value. Most people might overlook a penny when they get it in their change, but there are a few key reasons why this particular coin could be worth much more than its face value. Before we get into the specifics, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln cent, the series to which this coin belongs. The Lincoln penny, which first debuted back in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. Since then, it's become one of the most iconic coins in American history, with Lincoln's portrait appearing on the obverse of the coin and the Lincoln Memorial featured on the reverse. But in 2010, the US Mint decided to make a change, literally. To commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, they introduced a new reverse design. Gone was the Lincoln Memorial. Instead, they replaced it with a new design, a shield symbolizing the United States' enduring strength. And this is the design you'll see on the 2015 D penny. The 2015 D penny is part of a series of pennies minted after the shield design was introduced. You'll see this shield, with its detailed lines and intricate structure, on the reverse of each 2015 D penny. It's beautiful and certainly a departure from the previous design, but it's also part of the ongoing evolution of American coinage. It's no surprise that over time, coin collectors have grown to appreciate these changes, and the 2015 D penny has certainly made its mark. Now, let's get into why this particular penny has become so sought after by collectors. While most of the 2015 D pennies you find in circulation are worth only their face value, 1 cent, there are some special variants that have become extremely valuable. The key to understanding this lies in the concept of minting errors and limited production runs. See, the US Mint doesn't always get everything perfect. During the minting process, mistakes can happen, and when those mistakes occur, it creates a coin that's rare and, in many cases, very valuable. The 2015 D penny is no exception. Some of these coins were minted with errors that make them more desirable for collectors. For instance, one of the most sought-after varieties of the 2015 D penny is the double-die error coin. What does this mean? Essentially, during the die process, the coin's design was imprinted twice, creating a doubled image. This could happen to any part of the coin, the date, the lettering, or other features. When a collector comes across one of these double die pennies, it's a rare find, and it can significantly increase the coin's value. Depending on the quality of the error, a single 2015 D penny could be worth anywhere from $45 to a few $100. And in some extreme cases, it could go for much more. Let's talk a bit more about the different types of errors that can happen during minting. One common error you'll find in some 2015 D pennies is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is struck by the minting press at an incorrect angle, causing the design to be imprinted off-center. These coins are especially valuable because they don't look like your typical pennies. Instead of being evenly struck, the design is shifted, which makes them unique and highly collectible. Depending on the extent of the error, an off-center 2015 D penny could fetch a decent sum at auction. Another mistake that can raise the value of a 2015 D penny is the misalignment of the die. When the die that strikes the coin doesn't align properly, it can create a double image or overlapping features. This misalignment can happen in any part of the coin, and it makes the 2015 D penny highly sought after by coin collectors who specialize in error coins. These varieties can sometimes go for hundreds of dollars, especially if they're in mint or near mint condition. Now, you may be wondering how to spot these valuable error coins. It's all about paying close attention to detail. You'll want to carefully inspect each 2015 D penny you come across. Look closely at the date, the lettering, and the overall alignment of the coin. If you spot any doubling or misprints, there's a chance you've found something special. But remember, not all 2015 D pennies are going to be worth big money. It's the rare, unique varieties that make these coins so valuable. So, what should you look for? Double dies, off-center strikes, and other notable errors. Also, don't forget to examine the overall condition of the penny. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth far more than those that have been heavily worn. So, how do you ensure that your 2015 D penny has that potential value? One of the best ways is to get your coin graded by a professional. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. If you happen to have a 2015 D penny in flawless condition, it could be worth much more than you think, even without an error. A coin that scores high on the grading scale can be worth significantly more in the right market. There's another reason why the 2015 D penny could be worth big money: its rarity. Some of these coins are just harder to come by than others. The 2015 D penny was minted in Denver, and while it wasn't a particularly low mintage year for pennies, certain error coins are incredibly scarce. Finding an error coin that is also in good condition is a rare and exciting moment for any collector, and it can turn a seemingly ordinary penny into a real treasure. Now, here's the thing: you might not find these valuable error coins every day, but if you keep an eye out, you might just come across a hidden gem. Sometimes, these rare coins slip through the cracks and end up in circulation, and that's when the magic happens. A collector might find an off-center strike or double die 2015 D penny in their change, and suddenly, they've got a coin worth hundreds of dollars. So, what's the bottom line? While most 2015 D pennies are worth only a penny, there's a chance you could find one that's worth far more. It's all about the rare error coins and the condition of the coin. Whether it's a double die, off-center strike, or other minting flaw, these coins can be worth anywhere from $45 to several $100. The key is to be vigilant, inspect your pennies carefully, and don't toss them aside without a second look. Alright, coin lovers, that's all for today's deep dive into the 2015 D penny. Who knew that such a tiny coin could have such a big impact, right? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos about rare coins and their surprising values. And don't forget, you might just have a little treasure hiding in your spare change right now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.